Years. I'm not joking. That's how long it took. 5 whole years to get Klee in this game. I am happy. I am ecstatic. The struggle is over. It is a job well done. And it only took one 10 pull. Just the one. Right? That's all it took. Because remember, my Bina pulls were cooked. She ate everything I had, and all I could do was gather up as many coins and fate crystals and sonic rings as I could, only for me to just get it in that first 10 pull. I appreciate it. I am happy. This is easily some of the best times I've had of feeling for pulling a character in a long time. That was the one character I was missing, and I'm so glad that it's finally done, that they're here. Now I can drop my hatred of Klee to keep it very much a stack, honestly, right? Which this month has been great for me personally overall, not to brag. But when it comes down to it though, just genuinely getting into that NTE beta, which we have footage that I still need to upload, then at the very same time, getting Klee finally after 5 dang years, and at the very same time, getting a sponsor with this whole, month. This has been pretty dang good, pretty solid for the channel. And speaking of said sponsor, this video is sponsored by Enjoygm. If you played Genshin Impact, Wuthering Waves, Honkai Star Rail, or even Zenless Zone Zero, you already know that topping up indie game stores is a bit expensive. And that's why Enjoygm is here to help you save the day on your wallet. All you need to do is go to the site, pick the game, pick the pack that you want, put in the server that you're in, put in the UID, and pretty much you're golden. And don't even worry about using any account information or any passwords. It's a totally safe and stress-free process. Whether it's the ongoing Angels of Delusion banner or the long-awaited Varka banner, what better time to top up with Enjoygm now? I'll leave my exclusive links in the pinned comment in the description, which using that will give you even more savings to top up with. Thanks again for Enjoygm for sponsoring the video. Now let's get back to the show. But no, you have to absolutely understand, trying to get Klee was like trying to, I don't know, cook chicken in absolute ice water. That's how it was for me. It was hard as I don't know what. It was basically the most struggle I ever struggled. Basically, it was just all that and 5 times more when it come down to it, right? When I first started Genshin, obviously the first banners was Venti and Klee. When it come down to it, I didn't get a chance to play because I waited 2 weeks before actually jumping on the game because I wanted to know what people thought about it and how fun it actually was. And by the time I was gonna get to, get into playing the game, getting the points and stuff, I could not get her at that point in time because I waited too dang late. So GG's on that one. And ever since then, anytime Klee popped up, it's either because there's another character I want over her. There's basically no way I'm getting primo gems in time to go get her, or anytime with the Chronicle Wish, once again, a new character come out, I really like this character, and I really should go get Klee, but I cannot avoid not getting this new character. Each and every time, that's how it was for me, and it was torturous. It was absolute pain with an E. That's just how it was the entire dang time, and to keep it very much a stack, I thought I might not never get her. To complete my lolly just brigade of things, my collection. I have all the other characters, but I am missing two, Sejuine and Klee. And most likely, when we get to whoever the heck that silhouette is of that one other, I assume Lolly character that's going to be, whoever that is, there's three characters I was missing. And finally, just yesterday night, I was able to bring her home. When it comes down to it, you might be hyped up to get Varka, and good for you. I'm gonna skip Varka, and I just needed Klee. And when it comes down to it, lo and behold, Klee came home, first shot of the day. It was amazing. I couldn't be any more happy that finally this little red ass terrorist is in my game. So yeah, safe to say, I'm very pleased with the results, as you clearly have heard me say, and as you clearly seen at the beginning of this video with the dang trailer of getting Klee that I've made, honestly. So there is also that. But obviously, as good as that was, as a long awaited as that was for me, that's obviously not going to be the whole video that I want to talk about. Obviously, that'd be way too short, and that just, you know, not just something I could do. But when it comes down to it though, I do want to talk about something else entirely. After playing all these gacha games so far, and after kind of experiencing them for years at this point to a degree, I'm now just kind of thinking, man, after everything, when it comes down to what I've experienced, whether it's characters, story, and all that sort of jazz, it makes me realize, or maybe really just sit here and think, what keeps me going to keep playing these sort of games, or at least what would continuously keep people just trying to play it, honestly, because obviously there's more than one factor here when it comes down to it. And ultimately, for me, a lot of the time when I'm talking about these games, sometimes I still feel that nagging sense of like, oh, do people really care that I talk about these games or make videos about Genshin or, you know, Zenless at the times what I do, or any of the other stuff that I do? Because honestly, let's be real. When it comes to this channel, that I feel like gacha games are like a big drastic, I would say that much drastic, but a somewhat drastic sort of turn from what this channel has started out on. Because we pride ourselves on being an anime channel first and all that sort of stuff, but lately that hasn't really been a thing. And high key, I kind of been thinking about, you know, really need to watch some stuff that's out there, whether it's, you know, anything new or anything old. Just need to kind of put some anime content out there, right? But when I was doing those content bits, it felt like it was either gonna hit or it was not gonna hit very often, and that just kind of how it was for that. And I always kind of felt like the channel was missing something in terms of like, you know, how to kind of keep it going, keep it interesting, and have something that's there that isn't always something, you know, down bad material all the time, but also at the same time not getting too far away from that sort of content just to go to clean and narrow path, right? And so I feel like Gacha's a nice little middle ground when it comes down to it, right? Because as I said before, I don't watch every new anime that comes out. I just don't. And ultimately, with, you know, how YouTube is and how it's like a weird place at times when it comes down to what can be and cannot be put on here, there's times where you're just faced with a lot of that stuff when you're making down bad sort of content, and YouTube likes to play weird when it comes down to it. Sometimes it's fine, sometimes it's not, and it's just like, all right, I need a decent middle ground that's actually like I can go into that territory if I want to, and then at the very same time I don't have to if I just want to talk about something else. And for me personally, I would say Gacha is basically kind of the place where I'm at. It's the one thing I've been playing a lot of for the past couple of years. It is the one thing I've been really very much just really enjoying, honestly. So at this kind of point, I'm just like, yeah, that's kind of basically it. Do I still consider myself to be an anime channel? Yes, and that is still a focus, because I'll be real, if these gacha games weren't in anime style, 9 times out of 10, I probably wouldn't be playing them. But when it comes down to it though, I do enjoy them for what they are, and I do encourage people to at least try one just to see how it is for you and if you even would enjoy something like that, right? That's just genuinely how it is for me. Because personally, I'm having an exceptionally good time playing these games and enjoying them for what they are. Are they bad at times when it comes down to getting what you actually want and the time that you put into them? Oh, absolutely. Like, you can be grinding something for a character all the time and you're still not getting exactly what you want, and it's some bull, right? Same thing with trying to grind for points to wish for characters. It is some bull when it comes down to it. Like, to keep it very much a stack, oh, absolutely, I was going to go for Klee when it comes down to it. I was unsure because of Arca's gameplay, but ultimately, I needed Klee to complete the damn collection, or at least get somewhat complete on that. And ultimately, yeah, I don't regret my decision on pulling for Klee, and it's something I was very much happy for, right? But then in other games like, ZZZ, where even though the polling is still better than Genshin, high key, I can't get Suna for nothing. You know what I lost Suna to? You know who I lost to in my guarantee? Kaleda. I love Kaleda. She's best bae. But when it comes down to it, dear goodness, I did not need you right now, Kaleda. I needed Suna. So 9 times out of 10, I'm probably not going to get Suna when it comes down to it. Meaning, I'm not really going to bother getting Arya, so I'm just going to wait till Nangon comes out and then just go get her so I can at least have somebody from the Angels of Delusion so that could be a thing, right? And then ultimately, when it comes to Wilma, as much as I don't care for the game, there is some characters I do actually like, right? And right now, no one's on banner that I actually really care too much for when it comes down to it. Not the cyber robot chick that, I guess is a daughter to Rover or something like that. Not the next character on the next banner with the guns and whatever. I don't care. There's basically nobody that I really care to pull for right now until they announce the next patch of Wuwa, and then we'll see what happens after that. But regardless, when it comes down to it though, is there like a lot of things that is negative for me personally in these games? Yes, absolutely. But do I enjoy them? For sure. And you gotta remember too, I feel like at the same time, is that we're living in a timeline where video games from actual, AAA studios and all that sort of stuff are either A, not really worth playing, or B, take forever in a day for them to come out and announce a project that is on the way, right? For example, I think y'all pretty much understand that I like Square Enix a lot, despite their choices of things that they do sometimes. When it comes down to it, I want to see Final Fantasy VII Part 3. I want to see them do Kingdom Hearts 4 and put that back out there. If they could go back to the old catalogs, I would love for them to remake, the PS2 version of Legendary Samurai Musashi. There's plenty of games of ideas that I would love to see get done and get remade in some shape or form. Problems is, either they're going to come out and be absolute trash because the modern day of the devs, when it comes down to the Western world and just how certain people control other things, is going to make the game horrid and not really great. And then at the same time, they take so damn long, which is why I'm grateful for something like Genshin to come out and all these other games to be free to play to come out. Because back then, all you had was Fortnite, and that was basically about it. It wasn't really worth much of anything to get into. Now it's like there's so much other options, and especially with NTE potentially coming out some these months later, like, you don't even need to go buy GTA, honestly, if you just want a slight version of GTA experience. That is just how it is. So ultimately for me, it is the ground that I'm basically having the most fun with, right? And is it up to everybody's taste? Is it the content that everybody wants to see? Probably not, right? You probably came to me for a different reason when it comes down to what you want to watch. And I haven't seen anybody complain about it, right? But still, ultimately, I just like making the things in the moment of what I genuinely do like, right? And it's so much better personally for me to talk about this type of stuff than just news content all the time as well, right? As though I will bring it up every now and again, but it is so much better to have a focus of at least something I could fall back onto to talk about than just straight up, get tired at times to talk about some things that's lewd. Like, of course I'll bring it up, but I don't want to talk about it like all the time, right? In fact, there was a poll years ago that I put up basically asking, can I talk about literally anything else besides that? And y'all agreed that I could. So to keep it very much a sec, that is something that, I often think about, right? It's just, again, with this channel, and like I said before, it's randomness. You're getting a mixed bag sometimes. You don't know what you're going to get. And hopefully, whatever video that I do, hopefully you find something enjoyable about them, and hopefully it will give you a consideration to subscribe, right? The most I can really do when it comes down to it for this channel, for the videos that I make, is to be as truthful with you guys and be as honest with you guys as I possibly can when it comes down to it. And hopefully that honesty will be enough for you to stay around, subscribe, like videos, whatever, comment, try to yap to me or whatever. And that's just generally how it is, right? So ultimately, yeah, I do appreciate playing these games right now. It is fun for me. It is, again, the type of content that I also want to put out at times while mixing it in with the other stuff as well. That doesn't make, gacha content like the top big content that I'm hell bent to focus on. It just put them part of like the big circle of content that I like to do. So, from me personally, that's just how it is when it comes down to it. Honestly, I was going to talk about the anticipation for other games that's going to come out too, but it kind of just went down this direction, and I wasn't planning for this, but it just is what it is. So hopefully, though, you still very much will stick around and enjoy the content of this channel. Because again, it's just not gonna be just gacha games. It's just gonna be, some nice hot content with some hot women and with waifus and whatever. There's gonna be some nice regular rant content. There's gonna be some venting at times, even though sometimes I don't like doing those. Gacha content as well. JSX4 content. Working on the story currently, trying to get that out and done. So, that should be hopefully done sooner rather than later. Then at the very same time, there's like other stuff that we can do just sporadically, So again, it's a variety channel. You're getting what you want to get in certain shapes and forms. You're going to get it in different ways, and just ways that I think would be fun for the channel, for fun for everybody to kind of enjoy. So, with that being said, that's really all I want to say for this one. So hopefully you did enjoy. If you did, be sure to like, share, subscribe, hit the bell notification on your way out. Also follow my socials, and if you listen to donate to the channel, Kofi and Cash Out is available as well. Thank you for continued support, and until next time, Boy J, sign off. Have a blessed day.